Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, to another interesting video. It'll be a good start point for a lot of overseas dentists, doctors, anyone who's interested to move to the UK, either for tourism, to settle, to work, to study. So as the title says, this video will be about talking the possible visas we can get, the residencies, who's the home office, how we can guarantee that we get a visa, how to avoid possibly mistakes. It'll be a bit brief view about each visa. We'll go through it one by one, bullet points. This video I will only cover the student visa and the visitor visa because it will be too big. Our Arabic version was too long, so we'll try to keep this one to the same length. Will be possibly part 2, part 3, part 4. As we go along, we'll discuss it more. But like as we said in previous videos, if we have made up our minds, UK is a good country for us. It meets all our goals and targets. So the steps are to know exactly also the immigration system, because as well, from all like of us and good point of view is, we want to see if we can get maybe the citizenship at the end of our residency. What are the benefits we can get of staying in the UK? Is it a good step to take? Is it good for our families? So let's wait and let's find out now. Okay, so who's the Home Office? Home Office, or like Ministry of Defense or Internal Ministry. Home Office is the responsible department in the government responsible for policing, drug monitoring, crimes, terrorism, visas and immigration and residencies. So it controls all part of this kind of situations and departments. It controls the visas. They have come up to subdivisions of each visa. So the visas can be categorized into 4 main visas. The first one is visitor visa, second is student visa, third is work, and fourth is the family reunion. So each visa has subcategories. So each visa has like more branches to go through. We'll start, as I said in this video, about the first 2, the visitor visa and the student visa, which could be the first step for us to move to the UK. Okay, so visitor visa. The visitor visa has few reasons, possible ways to come to the UK. So we have to tell the Home Office why we're applying for visitor visa. The first reason and possible reason is tourism. If you want to come to the UK as a tourist, go around, see all like sightseeings and places, so that's the visa for you. Second possible way and reason is visiting families and friends. The third possible reason, medical reasons. You can come on a visitor visa to take and attend exams like the ORE exam or the LDS or the MFDS. You can come to do some kind of business but with an overseas company. So you do work for that company and you do the work for them here. You can come here as a lecturer to give lectures, as an academic kind of a dentist, doctor, to work on a short-term project up to 6 months. But there will be no payment allowed unless in a very specific cases. But I won't go through it because it's very deep in details and that may need a lawyer to discuss it for us. So with this visitor visa, there are a few activities we're allowed to do. Visit, tourism, see family and friends. Other than that, we're not allowed to do anything else. So we're not allowed to work. We're not allowed to take any paid jobs. You're allowed maybe to do some voluntary works, but nothing paid. You're not allowed to get married. If you found someone and you want to get married, you have to travel back to your country and apply for a different visa from your country. So you can't change your visa or extend it or switch from visitor visa to family dependent or spouse visa. You can apply for asylum. If you get here, you cannot apply for benefits, and yeah, it's all like mentioned, the common things. But always be careful taking any paid jobs, and you get caught by the Home Office, there is risk of deport. They will send you back to your home country. They will give you a ban for 10 years or more, so you won't be allowed even to come to the UK or apply for any visas for the future. They say 10 years, but normally it's for life. So every time you apply, you get rejection straight away. So always be careful with this. A lot of people, like places, they can offer you job and you can work in, let's say, kitchen or somewhere and get paid in cash. But sometimes the Home Office do have raids and visit these places and can catch people doing illegal, unregistered work. Okay, as a visa, requirements for this visa are to show that you've got valid passport, 6 months at least within the expiry date. You show them that you've got enough funds to support yourself during your visit to the UK, so enough money to explore, to travel. You should show them place that you're going to stay in. So if you have a tourism visa, you've got like a hotel, you show them the booking. If you're visiting family or friends, you have a letter from that family member or a friend that they are happy to have you as a guest, and they have enough rooms. You should show them that you are genuine in your visit. So it's like, show them that you want to go back to your country after you finish your visit to the UK, that you're not going to stay here. You should maybe possibly, and it's a good idea to have like both like return tickets. So you should have your first way and then the return, so that they know you're gonna leave at this time. You should not stay longer than 6 months. This visa normally is 6 months long. The price of this visa is £115, and this is for 6 months. This visa doesn't need any health surcharge, so you don't need to pay any medical insurance. Other visas, you need to pay it because you'll be having some residency, you live in the country. In regards to this visa, you should apply before 3 months from the date you intend to come to the UK. So if you intend to come to the UK on the 1st of September, you're allowed to apply from the 1st of June, so 3 months before. Anytime you can apply for that, but you should give yourself some time to get the visa issued and either approved or declined. The visa can take about 3 weeks, sometimes more, depend on the processing time from the Home Office. 3 weeks, and then you'll be notified that your passport is ready. You've got the visa printed on your passport, so you can go and collect your passport, and you're allowed to travel from the date the visa start. So you can travel. If the visa starts on the next day, you should travel on the next day. But also, they will ask you on how long you intend to stay. Okay, the visa will be for 6 months and possibly will be multi-entry. So you're allowed to come in and go back and move, but you should not stay longer than the period you intend to stay. So if you say, I'm gonna stay for a month, you should stay for a month. That will show them that you're a genuine person and you're not playing around with the system. So this is roughly this visa. As I said, this can be a good point for us if we want to come to do some exams. For doctors, they can come in also and do lab exam or OSCEs. If our reason of visit is to take exams, one of the papers and supporting documents we need to submit is proof of exam booking. So any payments you've got online for the GDC, for example, or like your exam registration booking sheet you receive from the GDC, should print it, should include it in your application form and submit it, so that shows them that this is the main reason of your visit and it's there. Great. So we'll move on now to the second visa, or the big category, which is the student visa. Student visa is clear from the name. That's, you're a student, you want to come to the UK to study. You can come to the UK and study English. You can come and study undergrad degrees. You can come and study post-graduation degrees like masters and PhDs. Most of us as dentists or doctors, we are graduates. So we're looking to do postgraduate studies. So we can apply for masters, which can last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, up to 5 years. This visa, we can apply for up to 5 years study visa. We can apply to extend it. So we can, when we finish, let's say, our course, if we have another course to go and study for, we can apply while we're in the UK. This visa requires different documents than the visitor visa, but the main document we all need in any visas is valid passport with 6 months at least expiry date within this passport. Okay, applying for this visa, it needs one of the biggest things is unconditional offer from your university. In the university you apply for, let's say you find a good course and you like it, you start to fill in the application form, provide the supporting documents. You have fulfilled all the requirements to get an unconditional offer from this university. So unconditional offer is an offer where you don't have to meet and show any competency. Most of the conditions they want you to cover before they give you the unconditional offer is English requirements, funding, so you show them that you've got enough money, and your graduation certificates, some maybe extra requirements like experience, so on and so forth. But the main two is the English and the money. So English, most likely for most of these universities, is IELTS exam. They ask now for 6 overall, 6.5, 7. It depends on the university, but like each university have different criteria, and each course as well have different criteria. And the second thing is the funding. They want to see a bit of money. They want to see bank account that you've got enough funding to support yourself and to pay for your tuition fees for the visa. Sorry, not the visa, for the course. Okay, applying for this visa, if we're outside the UK, we can apply before the start date of our course, 6 months beforehand. And it can take about 3 weeks to have a decision, sometimes a bit more. Again, it depends on the circumstances and the person. In regards to the fees of this visa is £490 per person if you're applying on your own. If you've got wife or a kid with you to come in, if your visa and your course allow that, each person will pay £490 extra. In addition to the fees of this visa, there is what we call NHS health surcharge, which is the medical insurance. If just in case you need medical help, you've got injury, you need something, and you can't go to hospitals, you can go when you pay this fees. It's per year, roughly it's about £776. If your course is 1 year, that's the amount. If it's 2 years, it's double the amount. If it's 3, it's triple the amount. And the same amount you have to pay for your family members. In regards to the funding and the money you should show in your bank account, you should show the Home Office that you've got enough money to cover your tuition fees, so the course fees for the first academic year, so up to 9 months. They consider the studying year is 9 months. So you should have first academic year money already in an account, and you should have some funding to support yourself while you're in the UK, while you're studying. So you should show them that you've got enough money to eat, drink, and transport and rent. This amount of money changes from place to another. So if your course taking place in London, so if your university and the campus is in London, which London has 32 councils, so each council considered part of London. So if you're in London and your course is in London and you're going to live there, it's more expensive. So you should show that you've got 1,330 something pounds per month up to 9 months. So that's roughly about 12 and a half thousand pounds for 1 year. And if your university and the course is taking place outside London, it's going to be cheaper. It'll be about £1,030 per month up to 9 months. That will cover you for the first year, including your tuition fees and your money to support yourself during your stay, in the UK. The thing is, your money and tuition fees and the supporting money should be in a bank account, your bank account or your parents' bank account, for at least 28 days before you apply to the visa. So it should be there for at least 28 days. And if you're applying and your parents are funding your study, you should get a letter from them mentioning that they are happy to support you and the money will be for you when you start your course. So we can come to the country, as mentioned before. If we get the visa, we can move to the UK, travel 1 month before the start of our course. If our course is more than 6 months, if our course is less than 6 months, we're allowed to move to the UK or travel 1 week before the start date of our course. So in this visa, what are we allowed to do? As I mentioned, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours and your partner can work as well. The money you earn during your stay, you keep it, but you pay some tax on it. So English requirement, if you cover the English requirement by meeting the course requirements, which let's say IELTS 6 or 6.5, 7, then you covered for the English requirement. You don't need to submit this. So you can use the same IELTS, let's say academic IELTS, as an English proficiency to the Home Office. But if the English requirement is less, you need to provide an evidence that you meet the English proficiency, which is B2, level B2, which is about 5 to 6 IELTS. But the main thing is unconditional offer needs higher IELTS degree. So whatever we get, it will cover us for that English requirement. So for this visa, if you plan to bring your wife or child, there are only specific visas would allow you to do this. depending on the new definition the Home Office come up with from the 1st of January this year, 2024. So not all master's degree will give you permission to apply for a dependent visa. But if your course allow you to bring dependents, wife or a child, you should show that also you've got enough funding to support them. You pay for visas for them, you pay for NHS health surcharge and money per month. You'll need about 850 for your wife if you live in London per month, and then about 600 or something if you live outside London per month for up to 9 months. The same thing for the child. Again, it's all like there on the website. Moreover, for the NHS health charge, there will be a calculator, so we don't have to guess the amount we need to pay. It will all be there and it will tell us. We can do the application online, we can upload documents online, and then we'll receive an invitation, or we have to book an appointment and go to a visa center in our country. If we're Syrians, we have to move to Lebanon to do it. They will do biometric details, they will take pictures and take fingerprints, and then they will tell us about the decision within, as I said, 3 weeks. There is an option to pay for a priority visa. Priority visa is to get a decision within 5 working days. The fees of this priority visa is £500, and there is an option for some visas to pay super priority visa, which is £1,000 extra, but you get this decision roughly within 1 working day. It depends on your circumstances and when your course is going to start. If you're short of time and you don't have enough time to wait, and your course is going to start, let's say, next week or the week after, so you have to apply for that priority visa. It's all, again, mentioned on the Home Office website. A lot of details, a lot of small things. It needs very careful consideration when we fill these visas. We don't want to make mistakes that could show the Home Office we may be applying for things that's not real, we're not genuine, and they consider it as a fraud, and we risk to have a ban. We can appeal a decision for student visas, but we can't appeal decisions for visitors. We can apply for reconsideration. All of these will need lawyers. You can't do it alone, but filling the application you can. It's a bit tricky, and it's a good thing to have support from someone. So this is roughly the details, bullet points in brief about the 2 visas, the visitor and the student visas. If any one of you needs support, I am here. I can help and offer some support in finding you maybe a good course, good master degree, helping you filling the application form. I've got a lawyer who works alongside with me, so we can use his service maybe for an extra charge if we need that. So if you need this, just contact me. I hope it was not long. I hope it was informative, and if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe with your friends, and stay tuned with the channel. Your support helps me to keep going. I can see that, and appreciation always welcome. Please, as I said, share, and a lot of love, and I'll see you in next videos. Take care.